So let me zoom in on contribution. So here we are talking about when do we know that it's our outcome? When can we claim that the project's activities has contributed to this outcome and change that we see? So an outcome, basically, the way that we can understand it from outcome harvesting is a change that your process has influenced. So the process of the project. And when we think about contribution, I would like you to see it as we are working as detectives. So we arrive at the crime scene, and that's the change that we observe that has taken place. And then basically we want to track backwards and see, okay, what are the different steps we can find that led to this change. So in this case, what are the footprints, what are the fingerprints, and maybe something is left on the crime scene that can give us clues on what has taken place before this change happened. So it's very much a different way of working than when we are talking about outcomes in a log frame where we have predetermined outcome at the start of a project implementation. We already have decided on what are the outcomes we want to work towards. But here we are only looking at the outcomes that already has been achieved. And then based on that, we're going back to see how plausible is it that our project contributed to it. So what is essential here is how plausible is the link between the project activities and the cause, which is the and the effect, which is the change. Another way of understanding contribution is to see the outcome as the change on one side of the shore and then status quo on the other side of the shore, as you see on the slides here. And the contribution to this outcome on the other side of the shore is the bridge that basically linking the status quo to the outcome, to the change. So this bridge will tell us the contribution. And your project contribute to outcomes through inputs, activities, and outputs. So this is what we talked about during part 1, that these are the results, the outputs are the results that are within the sphere of control. And we all have these, so we implement some activities, and you see these yellow pieces in the bridge. So they are our contribution with the different activities that take place. But you also see that there are still parts of the bridge that are not filled out yet. And that's because we're not the only social actor who are contributing to changes. So often you will see a lot of actors and factors in play when working towards an outcome. So you see all these different colors. We have blue, we have pink, we have red, black. So all these other colors are other actors and factors that all are a part of this change process that's happening towards the outcome and contributing with each of their part. So what is important with outcome harvesting when we talk about contribution is that we are not interested in attribution. What I mean with that is we don't want to calculate how many percentages did our project contribute with. So we don't want to try to calculate, okay, our project activities attributed with 25% to the outcome, because the thing is we can never know how much that actually is, it will always be assumptions, because we are all operating in a social world, especially when we are talking about influencing projects. So you also don't know let's say we are influencing a policymaker to make a change. We also cannot jump into the mind of the policymaker to understand what were the final deciding factor for the change that he or she decides to make. So what we instead are interested in is how plausible is it that we did play a role in contributing. And it's okay that it's together with other influencing actors and factors, but we played a part in this change happening. So when we talk about other actors and factors, these can be, for instance, of actors, it can be the media who pick up on some stories and that influence the general narrative of the public, either in our favor or against our favor. It can be other civil society organizations, NGOs, working on the same topic. And of factors, these can be contextual factors. So for instance, maybe there has been an election taking place, and this election has plays a big role for the change we want to achieve. Maybe the new government is more favorable of the changes we want to achieve. It can also be, for instance, the pandemic of COVID-19, where some priorities might shift, leading to different results or different type of work that we can do. So so these are just examples of many different actors that are at play in the social world. So in the outcome statement, when we talk about contribution, I would like you to, first of all, focus on the project's contribution. That's what's most important. How plausible is it that the activities of your project has contributed? So focus on those activities, but if there are very essential other factors and actors, you can add that as well. For instance, the example of an election or a change of minister, etc., etc.